Hello dear students, I am Prabhat Dubey, your B.St teacher from LPM Public School, Gola Bazaar. In our B.St syllabus, we are going to start our chapter 2nd, that is forms of business organizations. As you know that to start any business operation, we need an enterprise, and how to form that business enterprise depends on us. There are several factors that are having direct and indirect impact on our decision making. Okay, so it depends on several factors. What is your expertise? What type of product you want to manufacture? What type of service you want to provide? What is your requirements of capital? What type of machinery is required during the production process? What type of supply chain is required? And what is the requirement of skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workforce? What is your positioning? And what type of atmosphere is present in your locality? What is the political atmosphere? What type of policies? What type of taxation procedure is prevalent in the state and in the country where you are operating? What is the technological advancements that are in upgrading day by day? So all these things are to be kept in mind before deciding what type of business you want to start and what would be the form. So we will get to know what are business enterprise, what are business organization. First, there is a definition: an organization which is engaged in some business or commercial activity is called enterprise. We have already discussed this thing in the first chapter, that if we are providing any goods or we are offering any service and we are getting money in return, then only this type of activity is coming under the purview of business, and the enterprise that is involved in such type of activity is called business enterprise. Okay, so first we need to understand what is business enterprise, then we will discuss the categories of business enterprise. What type of major categories are found basically in Indian scenario: the private limited, public and joint sector enterprise. All these enterprise constitute some pros, some cons. There are some advantages and some disadvantages in each of these categories. So it depends on our personal capability or personal requirement before deciding what type of business we want to indulge in. So we will move ahead as per your book. In your book, it is mentioned that every business entity adopts some form of business organization to carry out business activity. Okay, and these are classified as private sector, public and joint sector. So first our focus would be on private sector enterprise. As the name suggests that ownership is on the hand of private sector. There is no liability of government, there is no involvement of government. While in public sector, all the ownership, all the control, all the administration is under the hand of government and its officials. In joint sector, both these sectors coordinate their efforts. Sometimes their collaboration is required to fulfill the requirement, because there are some specific type of industries where only government or private sector is not capable enough to perform the job with efficiency. So a collaboration is required. Government is pressurized, especially in developing nations like India, because government is not capable enough to provide all type of expertise, the technological advancement that are coming in picture. The workers or the managers who are working in government sector are not efficient enough to handle the sophisticated machineries, understand the sophisticated technology. The technical and managerial skills are not adequate enough to handle the sophisticated technology and procedures. That's why they come in collaboration with private sector players who can handle all the sophisticated things. That's why we are witnessing even privatization is there. Government is privatizing its authorities. When the equity of any organization is diluted below 51%, if government is having at least 51% equity shares in any organization, then only that organization would be called government sector, PSU. And when that 51% is diluted, suppose government is having only 45% equity shares, 55% equity shares are in hand of private players, then we cannot say that this organization is from government sector. Some organizations are there where you can witness 100% ownership of government, because this is need of the time. These are very sensitive industries, and government cannot compromise with the integrity, security and national spirit of its country. That's why we do not allow the private players, because confidentiality of business would be under stake if we are indulging, if we are inviting the private players. You cannot assume what would be their mentality, what type of mindset is there for business regulation, because in private sector the only objective is to earn profit. I mean, also depend on the mentality of the person who is taking decision in, who is the leader of that business enterprise. If he is very generous, then his motive would be very noble. But if the sole objective is only profit making, and the company is fighting hard in this competitive scenario, then we have witnessed several types of cases where we have found the companies involved in unwanted activities, illegal activities, and even they are compromising our national integrity as well. Okay, so we will discuss the intricacies of all these three major categories of business enterprise. First, our focus will be on private sector enterprise. How many types of private sector enterprise are there? How these units are formed? What type of framework is required? What are the procedures, laws and policies of government to support this type of industries? We will discuss one by one. So first, the private sector enterprise, as per your book, are owned, controlled and managed by private individuals. Okay, so it clearly suggests that no involvement of government. The name private in itself suggests that ownership is in hand of private players. Okay, so you can easily understand. Now we'll move ahead. This enterprise work with the main motive of earning profit. As I told you, the sole objective is to earn profit, because profit is required to sustain in this scenario. Any business, if not earning good profit, then you cannot provide salary, cannot think of upgradation. So profit is highly required for sustainability and growth of any organization. And we have already discussed the role of profit in business from 90% of chapter first. So there is no need to elaborate on this. All of you understand the role of profit in any business organization. Okay. So if I am saying that the sole objective is to earn profit, but the product and service that is being offered from your private sector enterprise should be of good quality, and you have to take proper care of the society, political norms and integrity of that nation. Okay, then only you can think of making profit. If you are imbibing the unethical measures, then your integrity and your existence will be under stake. Okay. So now we will move ahead. There are some renowned companies in this private sector enterprise. We know very well Reliance, Wipro, Tata, Birla and many more.